Good morning, fifth graders. Welcome to Reader's Workshop. We will be in our mentor text today. So go ahead and grab this book. And then we're on pages 12 to 13. And our text today is a little bit different. If you glance down, I'm sure that you could notice that it is a play today. And this play happens during the Great Depression. And I'm wondering if you've ever heard of the Great Depression. Okay, it happened in the 1930s. Okay, it was a time of great hardship for our country, but also for the world. And so this particular play is happening between a farmer and a Tennessee agency that's trying to build a dam, and they would like to use this farmer's land. All right, but we're going to use our work on inferences to help us understand the characters in this play. All right, so I'm going to switch to the question so that can guide our reading today, because sometimes it's nice to know what the purpose for reading is. It can help with our comprehension. All right, so the question that you will see in Schoology is, look at scene 1, okay, and that's what we're going to read today on pages 12 and 13. And what do the stage directions, written in parentheses, tell you about how each character feels during the scene? All right. So before we read, let's glance down. I notice that the first person to speak in the play is Papa, and in parentheses it says nervous. So I'm just going to underline that, because that's what I'm going to be using to try to describe Papa when I answer this question. All right, but then I noticed there's more parentheses next to Papa. I'm going to underline those. And then I'm going to keep going through the play. And the next time I see it is in Mr. Bailey. So I'm going to underline those. I'm going to keep going down. Oh, and I see that close to the end of the play, Mr. Bailey has something in parentheses at the end of what he says. And then Papa is the last person to speak, and he has lots of words in his parentheses. So let's go ahead and underline those, because those are the words that we're going to be using to help with our inferences. Okay, and then it says tell you about each character feels during the scene. So I just wanted to pay close attention here. It says each character. So I can tell by looking through this play that there's 2 characters. Okay, let's go ahead and write that on the right side of your book. There's Papa and Mr. Bailey. All right, these are good notes to help guide our reading today, because we're trying to make inferences on the type of people or how our characters are feeling in the moment for both Papa and Mr. Bailey. All right. If you're confident in reading this and making your inferences on your own, feel free to do that. If you would like to stick with me, we will read through the story together. All right, make sure you have your pencil so we can take any notes that we would like as we read through the text today. All right. It's too bad we're not in person. This would be a fun play to read with different characters or different voices. All right, but let's go ahead. Right up at the top it says the flooded valley. The 1930s were a time of enormous economic hardship known as the Great Depression. In this play, a government agency known as the Tennessee Valley Authority is trying to build a dam that will bring jobs and electricity to rural areas. Okay, so it sounds like this Tennessee Valley Authority is trying to bring in jobs to help a lot of people. So scene 1. Or maybe let's stop a second and you can take a look at the pictures. We're not going to meet all of the characters today, but you can tell from the list that there's a few more that we'll meet tomorrow. Right, scene 1. Papa is waiting at the TVA offices in Norris, Tennessee. He clutches the deed to his family's land. A door across the room says S. Bailey. The door swings open and Sylvester Bailey walks out. Papa leaps to his feet. Bailey? Who let you in? Sir, I've got to talk with you all about the TVA's plans for this town. What is there to talk about? We sent around the pamphlets and the money orders months ago. Sir, you're forcing us to move to another farm that's just as bad as the one we're on now. And the money you gave us for our land isn't enough to start over somewhere else. Oh, look, Jennings, sir. Right. Listen, Jennifer. This river valley is full of people like you, living without electricity or water. By flooding some of the farms in this valley and building dams, there will be cheap power and water, and some men like you will get jobs. A job for every single man in the valley? Well, you're making us leave our family farms just to go to another farm we can barely live off of and wait around to maybe get a job with the TVA? Well, no one's making you people do anything. The government is flooding the valley. Welcome to the 20th century, Jennifer. Good day. Oh, it's Jennings. And then the stage lights go out. All right. So how would you describe Papa? How would you describe him in scene 1? Okay. I saw in parentheses nervous. I saw that he straightened up. He seemed to remember why he was here. What other parentheses did we see? Oh, and at the end we saw he balls up the land deed and throws it. Then he realizes what he's done and scurries over to pick it back up and lovingly smooths it out. Oh, so I would say, Papa's nervous. I think he wants to do the right thing. But he's not quite sure what the right thing is. And my evidence is that he balls up the paper, throws it away, but then he takes it back and flattens it out. Okay. And my other evidence is that it said that Papa was feeling nervous. Now, Mr. Bailey, I think my inference is that he's confident. He's confident. And I can tell that, I might even add not just confident, I think he's also not very kind. or conceited. Okay. And then we're going to look back and see if we can find some evidence to back up your inference. All right, and I'm going to leave you to do that second piece on your own. How would you describe Mr. Bailey? And then what evidence can you find in the text to support that? All right, nice work today. Go ahead and find your Kami document in Schoology, and then we'll meet back here tomorrow to read scene 2 of the play.